back. We're cleaning our spectacles. We're doing all the things right here because it's live TV. And that's even that thing that she's doing. We're doing it here for you. Thank you so much for all of your tweets, your Facebook and Insta posts. We love receiving them. You can keep tagging us on SA on 3 now. It is time for our Woman Crush Wednesday guest. You know what, Musa? I feel like you should do the honors today.
I think I should as well, but let's so that we can see. Our Woman Crush Wednesday today is not just a beautiful woman who lights up our screens as on-air talent, but she's also changed the stereotypical notion that actresses just know how to cry on cue. She can actually hold her own in the directing of entire productions. She's one of the leading female directors in the film and television industry, and as an actress, we loved her as a Lumka on Generations, and she's kept us riveted on her roles in local series and soapies such as Rhythm City as well as Jacob's Cross. In 2016, she blew us away again as one of the leads on Happiness is a 4-letter Word, which became hugely successful here in Mzansi and of course around the world. Ladies and gentlemen, the one and only Mmabatho Montsho! That is you. And hello and welcome.
Thank you.
I wanted to bring you out in the middle of the night. Huh?
It's okay. I'm from work, fresh from work. So, yeah, I'm used to this.
All right. So you're our Woman Crush Wednesday today. And, you've always been surrounded by incredibly strong women. I mean, you post pictures of your mother, Borachadi, things such as that. Tell us how they inspired you in your life.
I think the two closest women to me are my mom and my sister. And my Rakhadi, we share a birthday, so we kind of like twins.
Nice.
And I think my mom and my sister are the two most honest people that I've ever met in my life. They are very honest with me about everything, good and bad. Their critique is so building that I run everything past them before I do it. They're genuinely my friends. Okay. Just being around them builds me, and that's the kind of relationship we have with each other. So, yeah.
La. Sekai, your first big acting gig was Good Generations. Yes. You were natural. You had no experience. Masjuanga wana momo.
It's shot seconds. Yo, Max, we have to make a plan, my man. I need a different angle on the autograph sequence. It's like a herd of sheep fighting for feed. It looks crappy. Directing them for Melo changing on it.
Then you should have made up your mind what you wanted beforehand.
It's not panning out the way I saw it, right?
In other words, you shut your sights.
You had no formal training and you were quite fantastic there.
Thank you. Yeah.
What do you think? What do you have to say to directors who refuse to work with actresses or actors with no skill or no formal training?
Sure. Okay.
It's got nothing to do with skill.
It's a tough one because it depends on what you're trying to achieve and what kind of project it is, how much time you have. So I had done drama in throughout school. I just didn't do it in like a tertiary institution or anything like that. So I had a little bit to work from, but in terms of learning how to act for TV, that was deep end, right? So I try to remember that for myself so that I don't have too much of an attitude when I'm meeting like new talent on set. So, it's a difficult one to answer. It really does depend on the project and what you're doing.
Okay. And then directing, Sekai, how did you decide bands or director as well? Why were you not just like writing, acting?
I always wanted to direct.
Okay.
I knew that from like as early as 13, 14. And acting for me was a way in.
Nice.
Because I didn't go to university, I used the opportunity to learn. So I'm on set every day. I'm seeing how things work. I'm seeing how the camera department works. I'm learning everything as much as possible. So I always knew that I'm going to end up directing. And I never just focused on acting. Like I said, I decided to use it as a learning opportunity. For me, it was school. Yeah.
Okay, and it's also great for you to know, to help the talent because you know both sides.
Yeah. Oh, yes. It helps a lot because directing is like communicating. You're speaking to so many people at once. It helps if actors feel safe with you because they feel like you understand what they go through. As actors receive a lot. They have to open, they have to receive wardrobe, they have to receive makeup, receive a script, receive direction. So if it's so easy to cross a line and like emotionally abuse an actor. You know
They're
what I mean?
humans and not robots.
Yeah. So it helps to know what it feels like on the other side, and they feel like they can trust you. So it's definitely a plus.
Look, you're the brains and the creator and the director of Women in Sex, which is a web series about, you bring sort of influential women and you talk to them about sexual liberation in South Africa or as a theme. What brought that about and why do you think that's important in South Africa?
Okay, so I had and still have a lot of questions about sex. Its relationship to everything that we do. So for instance, even if I'm on set and I'm directing, sex has something to do with it, right? Am I going to get sexually harassed at some point or not? What is the relationship with my body and being in a space and feeling like I can be in charge and all of those things? So I had so many questions about it, and I was having a conversation with a friend, and just from having that conversation, I thought, okay, what if I had the same conversation with a bunch of different women, and if I'm going to have it, I may as well put it on record. And I didn't just speak to influential women. I mean, I spoke to women. I tried to speak to as many women from all walks of life as I could afford to do it, because it was self-funded. So I mean, the journey even created more questions for me as I went along, and I realized that some of the things that we go through are so similar. And at the same time, they're so different that the conversation can go on and on and on and on. And why not have it on record? Because when I was Googling I wanted to do like little blurbs of black women's quotes, and I couldn't find a hell of a lot, right? So you have to go to everyone that's sort of written, and I couldn't find just different types of women. I couldn't find South African women. I couldn't find African women. So I thought, okay, this pushes me even more to want to put these conversations on record, especially in an audiovisual format.
Fantastic.
There's something so powerful about passion, because passion kind of leads you into the next passion and the next thing and the next thing. And so if you're able to have skills surrounded by that and support so that you can put it, and confidence, I suppose, so that you can put it out to the world, it's just really remarkable. I want to talk about your passion for fashion. So you started. Do you have
what you're wearing?
But I mean, you started a fashion label as a kid, didn't you?
I needed to survive.
Okay. So was that the vibe?
Okay, so my Rahadi used to be a seamstress her whole life. She still pretty much makes stuff for people right now. And on my mom's side, my great-grandmother was also like a seamstress, so it came from both sides. So it's a skill that I kind of just had. And then I needed to make money and live, and I've always had an independent spirit. So I still have like a huge panic of being a burden on anyone. So I thought, okay, I'm out of high school, what's the plan? And because I used to make my own stuff, people would ask for it. So I thought, okay. And at the time, a friend of mine was going through the same thing. So we just decided, okay, let's start a business and make money from this.
And painting. Tell us about your, you call yourself a closet fine artist.
Yeah, because I was shy about it.
You're very good.
In the beginning, thank you.
Yeah.
Wow, sculpting as well.
Yeah.
Sure.
Oh yeah, that was my first one. Can I floss on this one?
Yes,
I'm not gonna be humble about that one.
I mean, this is incredible. Do all the art forms, that Venn diagram, do they all kind of correspond with each other, or do they feed you different things?
Yeah. Different things. I think for me, the history with fashion definitely helps when I'm on set and I'm directing.
Yeah.
I'm able to have a story conversation with the designer, to say, okay, this is what I'm looking for, and we can have a quicker conversation because I kind of know how to have that conversation. I know what that means. And with painting, it's still the same thing. I mean, you're still telling a story in a frame. It's just that when you're shooting, it's multiple frames and there's dialogue and all of those things. But it's still about lighting, composition.
So you're an artist. You're a creative. You are, exactly.
Yeah. Talking about things that you love, I want to talk about your love for red and black, where you follow this theme of the Methodist Church and the colors that they have on their women's uniform. And what you've done with that. What's your attachment to it?
This is so beautiful.
So powerful.
Oh, thank you. So it started in an interesting way because I one night I was having like these intense visions of like women, Manyano women. And then, but because that's how stories come to me, I thought it's a script, right? So I sit there and I write a treatment like, and the story goes like this and this and this. But then it was still haunting me, it wouldn't go away. So I did a sketch to kind of just release it. And then I felt better. And I was like, okay, that was interesting. But then it happened again. And then, so from the sketch, I went to oil painting. And it just kept on repeating itself that way. So on my mom's side, I mean, my mom is a Manyano woman. My grandmother was. My great-grandmother was. They all were. So I do know that it's somehow linked to my upbringing and what I'm used to seeing, what healing sounds like to me or feels like to me or looks like to me. And that's sort of how it came about. And I love the red because it's so bold and daring. It's not a color that you automatically associate with
Peace.
a woman and prayer, and you know what I mean. There's always this idea of demure, and this is just so bold. And I just recently read a paper about like the history of the uniform and how it started as an actual rebellion, and these women were like actually rebelling against being brought in to be domestics and like divine domestics, and then they started to become a collective, and it was like they were not allowed to wear the uniform, and they strategized that on this Sunday we're going to disrupt and wear it. And I was like, wow, I didn't even know these things.
Cool.
But that's why it's so provocative. And women from different denominations in solidarity started doing their own uniforms.
Fabulous.
So, yeah.
Fabulous.
I've loved you in happiness is a 4-letter word. What's next for you?
Next is a lot of directing once again. So I'm excited about the stuff that I'm doing this year. I'm excited about what's happening in July.
What's happening in July?
I'm writing.
July?
No. No. I'm social phobic, so that wouldn't excite me. But I'm writing and directing a short
Please be our
film.
best friend. We love you. We love you so much.
We're skittering over here. We're like, I'm in love with her. I'm in love with her. I'm in love with her.
Also social phobic. Where's amazing?
Yeah, right?
Okay.
Can we go
Like
for lunch?
panic attack.
Yeah.
And then Lockdown season 3. So I was head writer on this season.
Wow.
So excited about that, yeah.
You're giving us all this gems.
This American lady now who was just launched yesterday, who's part of it?
Tishina Arnold.
Yes, that's so cool.
Yeah. Oh, she shot some amazing stuff today.
so cool.
I was like, yes, this is what we saw when we were writing.
Listen, we have a game to play with you. Do you mind?
cool. A game,
It's
okay.
called Would You Rather. If you were stuck on an island, would you rather be stuck with 1, your favorite director, 2, your favorite painter, or 3, a handsome politician?
Straight face.
Straight face.
Straight face, straight face.
You're not helping yourself, are you?
On an island.
Yeah, on an island.
Yes.
No,
They can serve cocktails.
I would like to be stuck with, because politicians are activists, right?
Right.
So things are going to start to make sense on the island, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So this is the smartest person to be stuck with.
We love you so much. Very much. Thank you for being here. Mmabatho.
Is that it? Is that the game?
Yes, absolutely. That is it. You can follow her work on social media and everywhere else that television and film is made. We'll be right back. It's on 3.
And don't stop designing.
I like how long you thought about that. You were like, okay.
Oh, he's so handsome. What's